I thought I was on the right path, and then everything kind of crumbled. So I had a $2.2 million bankruptcy. The girl I was in love with left me for a lot of good reasons, and I lost my houses, I lost my cars. I don't know if you ever had a car repossessed, but it's not very nice. And I don't think I really found myself in my lane until I lost everything. So I didn't like looking in the mirror because the guy I recognized there wasn't, the guy I saw there wasn't who I wanted to be. So I think the inspiration came from me learning that I had a great-great-grandfather that had a whole bunch of money, and the family had lost it. I was probably in the second grade when I recognized that. And I wanted to be entrepreneurial and run my own businesses and be successful and win back the family fortune. So going to college and then starting all my own businesses and things, it wasn't exactly a rising star, but what I discovered in the process was mentorship. So I had all these great ideas and I worked really hard, and then when I started having the most success, it was when I asked people for help who had already been good at it. And my first professional mentor helped me go from, I think, $20,000 to $80,000 in like 3-4 months. And I was hooked on finding someone to help me get there, that there's a shortcut. And so in the next businesses that I created from there, I had started several businesses that hit 7 figures, and I thought I was the man. Until I lost everything. So I was at a peak of, like, I was in love with this girl, we had a baby, my business was doing great. I left town for 2 months, I came back and I had more money, everything, I had investments, and I thought I was on the right path, and then everything kind of crumbled. And it wasn't until I forgave that guy, and also kept him 100% responsible for the situation I was in, because I had a lot of blame for other people, that this happened to me and someone screwed me and he did this wrong, and until I just owned it all. So I wouldn't wish a bankruptcy on my worst enemy. There were a lot of tears and times that I cried. I was also a pretty happy bankrupt guy, because I had presence knowing that this was not the end, but it was going to be a new beginning. I kind of fell into coaching, consulting, and entrepreneurship because I'd had so many, some successes. And I was still struggling to grow my company. And I stumbled into, I always wanted to write a book. In the 80s, in 1985, because I was just preparing this presentation, in 1985, there was a movie called Back to the Future. And Marty McFly goes back in time, and his dad was a geek, but then when all this stuff happened, he comes back and his dad was cool now. And the culmination of that was when he opened up a box of, there was a book inside, and he's like, I think the phrase was, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. So there'd been part of me my whole life that thought if you're a success, that meant you're an author. And so after 20 years of failing to get my book done, and trying to build back my life, this one little part of it, I thought, you know what? Let me find the right mentor to help me with this next part of my life. And so I found a mentor who helped me, and he helped me find the right book. And while I had failed for getting a book done for a variety of reasons of fear and things that I wasn't enough, and who am I, or being too busy and different things, he helped me find a message that resonated with my audience. I wrote my book in 24 hours. Helped me 10x my income in the next 12 months. And I, at the time, was helping people with their businesses, and oftentimes they want more clients and more money, and I thought, well, this worked for me, maybe I can do this for others. So now it's been a decade that I've had the privilege of spending my time with some of the coolest, most amazing people who want to leave a legacy, make a difference, change the world. And I get to do that with a book, different from any other publisher, I think, on the planet, really, because we are so focused on mission first and making sure they have a book that they know how to use, just like I learned, that would help me grow my mission and my movement and the things that are most important to me, rather than just making book sales. I didn't win because I made a lot of book sales. It was the other things that I learned. I think it was a lot of the pain and the challenges that I went through to have the vulnerability and the courage to be authentic in my vulnerability so that I didn't have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. So if my life were a movie and I was to pick 5 emotions that would carry through this hero's journey, let's say that I'm the hero of this movie, then there would have been hope, fear, celebration, surprised disappointment, and then gratitude. I think that Trevor in the future would say to Trevor, dude, just let go and do the thing that scares you most. So if there was one shortcut that I would have for people, it would be mentors. And there's not a better environment, in my opinion, to put yourself in than in a group of mentors, in a group of people that are playing the game at your level or higher. And so the value that I've gotten from one mentor is fantastic. And I've had that in a variety of areas of my life. The opportunity to go ahead and be around many that are all focused on the same thing has been the most exponential growth I've seen in my personal and professional growth. I can't imagine a better investment for somebody than to surround themselves in that group that resonates with your values and heart and things that feel right. So I think it is the best investment in yourself or a human, especially a business owner, to put themselves in that environment. I have one more thing to say to future Trevor. Dude, I love you. I care about you. I'm proud of you. And all you have to do is let go and step into the things that scare you most.